Will you please help me welcome Reverend Ronnie Roll?
Thank you. There's a parable that appears in many of the world's religious traditions, and some say it originated in ancient India long before the era of Christ. Now it can be found in almost all of the world's traditions. It's a story of a group of blind men who happen upon an elephant. They've never encountered one before, and so each tries to learn and conceptualize what this elephant is by touching it. Each blind man feels a different part of the elephant. One man has his hand on the tail, another on his side, one on the ear, one on the nose, and the fifth one on the tusk. Each is trying to describe his experience of this elephant based upon that part alone. And so one is saying, it's wiry, it's got bristles. Another is saying, oh, it's got grooves on the side, but it doesn't seem to move much. This one's saying, oh, it's whipping around like crazy. This one's saying, wow, it flows like a river. It's got little veins through it. This one is saying, oh, this is a mighty, mighty creature because it can lift tree trunks. This one is saying, wow, this is very strong. So as they're talking with each other, each has their own experience of the whole. Each, the longer they hold on to that one place, becomes so sure that they have that conception of what the whole is. Each one starts to develop a little more challenge with what the other believes. I named my talk for today, Many Paths, One Heart. So when I was preparing to speak with you, I felt the pressure to talk about all the different world religions and how each of them came to be, how they'd splinter off from another one. And I'd talk about these different paths. But the interfaith path is one of inclusiveness and open acceptance of all belief systems. As an interfaith minister, I honor the individual's spiritual journey and the sacredness of it from childhood through transformation. The interfaith path isn't about separating people because of their beliefs. It's about holding space for the individual to feel loved and supported, no matter what they believe, or even more importantly, what you believe. After all, we are all imperfect beings having a unique spiritual experience through our own eyes. Let me repeat that. We are all imperfect humans having a unique spiritual experience through our own eyes. Each and every one of us is on a spiritual journey and has been since the moment we took our first breath, and will continue on that spiritual journey until we take our last breath or beyond, depending upon what you believe. So what I'd like to focus on are the things that we have in common instead, what we all seek to experience while we're here, the one heart. In 1984, Father Thomas Keating, a Cistercian monk, decided to convene a different kind of conference. He brought together a group of spiritual leaders to have an interreligious dialogue at Snowmass Village in Colorado. This was very different from anything that had been done before, because rather than having presentations and speeches, he decided that what they were going to do was to meditate, ask questions of each other, and share their personal experience and their own spiritual journeys, especially elements that they found were most helpful to them along the way. He invited leaders from at least 10 different paths, and those that also included no definable path. Originally, there were no records that were kept, there were no video cameras allowed, and no papers published immediately following. And the reason they did this is because they wanted to be able to build that deep trust, to be able to talk from their hearts with each other without word getting back to their own communities about what was being talked about. What came from their time together in Colorado was a series of 8 points of agreement that they all had in common. I want to share those with you because I think they're very important for us to really spend some time talking about and thinking about. The first was that the world religions bear witness to the experience of the ultimate reality, to which they give various names: Brahman, Allah, Absolute, God, and Great Spirit, much like the whole, and each of us having our names. The ultimate reality cannot be limited by any name or concept. The ultimate reality is the ground of infinite potentiality and actualization. Faith is opening, accepting, and responding to that ultimate reality. Faith is the sense that precedes every belief system that exists. The potential for human wholeness, or in other frames of reference, enlightenment, salvation, transformation, blessedness, nirvana, is present in every human person. Ultimate reality may be experienced not only through religious practices, but also through nature, art, human relationships, and service of others. I've talked to many a fisherman tells me they find God out in a fishing boat. Ultimate reality may be experienced not only through religious practices, but also as long as the human condition is experienced as separate from the ultimate reality, it is subject to ignorance and illusion, weakness and suffering. It's that unity that we seek. Disciplined practice is essential to the spiritual life, yet spiritual attainment is not the result of one's own efforts, but the result of experience of oneness with that ultimate reality. Now, these leaders met over the course of some 20 years, and a few years later, during one of their subsequent meetings, they came up with some additional points of agreement. They said that some examples of disciplined practice common to all of us are practice of compassion, service to others, practicing moral precepts and virtues, training in meditation techniques and the regularity of that practice, attention to diet and exercise, fasting and abstinence, the use of music and chanting and sacred symbols, practice in awareness and living in the present moment, pilgrimage, a study of scriptural texts and scriptures, and in some traditions, relationship with a qualified teacher, repetition of sacred words, whether it be a mantra, a japa, such as repeating words to the heart rhythm. One might say, Kyrie eleison, Christu eleison, Kyrie eleison, Christu eleison. They could repeat Om Mani Padme Hum, or Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, depending upon their religious tradition. There are observations of periods of silence and solitude, movement and dance, and formation of community. They said that it's essential to extend our formal practice of awareness into all aspects of our life, to carry that through. Humility, gratitude, and a sense of humor are indispensable in the spiritual life. The Dalai Lama was quoted as saying that humor makes people more human. Amen. It does. It lightens people. They come to their humanness that way. Prayer is communion with the ultimate reality, whether it's regarded as personal, impersonal, or beyond them both. All told, there were over 100 spiritual leaders during the course of the convening of the Snowmass conferences. Rather than seeking the lowest common denominator and dwelling on the differences, they focused on the unity shared amongst them all. And when the Snowmass Conference quit meeting in 2011, several other similar discussions continued, and some of them continue even today, all around the world. One of them that's coming up is going to be taking place in Toronto, Canada in November of next year. The Parliament of World Religions will be convening. The Parliament of World Religions seeks to promote interreligious harmony rather than just unity. Their belief is that, and I quote them, seeking unity risks the loss of the unique and precious character of each individual religious and spiritual tradition. In other words, they desire to protect the right of every heart to express itself spiritually and religiously on many paths with one heart. I'd like to lead you in the meditation today. So, if you please join me now by creating a vision together. Feel free to close your eyes. And please sit in your chair with your back straight, both feet planted on the floor in such a way that you form a 90-degree angle with your legs, and then begin to breathe deeply. In and out. Keep your breathing even so that the inhale is equal to the exhale. You don't want anybody to get lightheaded. Feel your breath going down through your feet into the ground. It grounds you. It keeps you fully present in the here and now. Then imagine you're standing in the center of a circle of people. There are friends and relatives. There are children in the circle. Some of them you know, and some of them you don't. See their faces. Turn toward each of them slowly and acknowledge each person, either with a smile, a hug, or whatever greeting you feel comfortable with. Then look down at yourself in your vision and see that you've become a prism, a magnificent crystal capable of sharing beautiful streams of warm, loving color from every part of your body. You radiate these colors like the most beautiful rainbow you've ever seen. Take a deep breath, and when you do, see the rainbow of colors, warm, loving, brilliant colors, pouring down into the crown of your head. And when you exhale, feel those colors swirl around in your heart, filling it with self-love. Breathe in again and receive even more self-love. With every inhale, the colors grow inside of you. Feel the colors swirling inside of you as you exhale, growing even bigger. Now take a deeper breath in, and when you exhale, send that stream of warmth, of love, out to the first person directly across from you. And see how they smile back at you as they receive it. Inhale, and your heart is filled again with the rainbow from up above. As you exhale, the warm colors inside you swirl around again, getting stronger. Draw more of the rainbow into yourself with another inhale. Then exhale again, sending the rainbow of love to the person across from you. Notice how that smile has now turned into a colorful ray of warmth and love that's coming back to you. It warms you even more and strengthens your own heart's ability to send out even more love on your rays of light. Breathe in again, taking that love in, and let it fill you. Accept it. Exhale the love out to the person across from you again, and create an endless circle of love between you and that person. Strengthen it. The rainbow from above is an endless energy stream of love. Breathe in. Exhale. The circle between the two of you continues to grow until you feel like it will burst if it's not shared. Then in your vision, decide to radiate all that energy, all that love, all the colors of the rainbow to everyone in the circle around you. Build upon the strength of the love that already exists within you, that continues to pour into you from above, and share it with all around you in that circle. The colors radiate from every fiber of your being out to each person in the circle. Notice how they drink the beam in, and it warms them too. Create that endless circle with them all simultaneously. With each breath, breathe out that warmth and love from every part of your body. You are the prism of love and light in all its wonderful spectrum of color. It radiates from you. Your heart strengthens with every breath and shares that rainbow of color with all around you. Your own heart is overflowing with love given to you from above and those from all around you. Notice that each ray of light between you and those around you is just a little different color. Each is beautiful and unique in its own way. As it comes back to your heart, you marvel at how it enriches you. It helps you see all the colors in a new, more stunning way, as if your eyes had never seen it quite this way before. You feel alive, vibrant, and more complete with your new connectedness to others and the divine source in this way. Holding all the divinity you feel, bring it back to this room with you now. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. May your hearts radiate a rainbow of peace, love, and harmony on all your paths you walk in life. Amen.